Now we are going to start with the preparation of aldehyde and ketones. So the first method is oxidation of alcohols. That means we are going to add oxygen to the alcohol. You have to keep in mind that alcohols actually undergo two types of oxidation: partial when you add a nascent oxygen, complete when you add a excess of oxygen. So like when it undergo a partial oxidation, it forms an aldehyde, but whenever it undergo a complete oxidation, it forms a carboxylic acid. So whenever we are carrying out the oxidation, we need to take care that it should stop at the aldehyde stage, or you can say that we need to do a partial oxidation. So suppose I have alcohol, let's say methanol. I am going to add a nascent oxygen in presence of a catalyst which will stop the reaction at aldehyde level, chromic oxide, and here it turns into an aldehyde. Likewise, we have ethanol, again oxidized in presence of the same CrO3. It also stops the reaction at aldehyde, forming 2 carbon atoms, again a aldehyde with 2 carbon atom compound, that is the ethanol. Likewise, but if this is when you are taking into consideration only 1 degree alcohol. But when you take second degree alcohol, that means you take a secondary alcohol. Suppose I have this secondary alcohol, you know that is that to which 2 R are actually attached. So when you take into account this kind of alcohol and do a partial oxidation, it forms a ketone. Likewise, see, I have an example. This is my CH3COH, CH3, a secondary alcohol, 2 degree because 2 carbon atoms are attached. So what happened when it undergoes an oxidation, it forms a the ketone with the same number of carbon atoms. 3 carbon atoms are here, it will again form a C, that means it will form a propanol. So that means like we can do it by oxidation of alcohol, but we have to keep in mind that we should actually have to stop at the stage of an aldehyde, and like 1 degree alcohol always form aldehyde and 2 degree alcohol always give rise to a ketone, and it again occur in the presence of catalyst, that is chromic oxide, or you can take a potassium dichromate also, K2Cr2O7, in presence of sulfuric acid. Second we have is dehydrogenation of alcohols. In this what we do, we take an alcohol and we pass it through copper vapors at 573 Kelvin. So when we do this way, it forms an aldehyde. But if we take a secondary alcohol, again always this secondary alcohol will give rise to a ketone. You have to do in a similar way, but the primary will yield the aldehyde and secondary will yield the ketone. So see, RCH2OH, when you are passing through copper at 573, it will turn into RCHO, and you will get a hydrogen gas will be liberated along. Likewise, when you do it with this, then again a hydrogen gas is liberated, it turns into a ketone. Third method is ozonolysis of alkene. That means we are going to react an alkene with ozone molecule. So when you react with this, so what we see actually, the carbon atom which carries a double bond, it gets linked here forming a ozonoid. For example, we have this kind of thing, we are going to add O3. So it will link like this, that it will form, this ozone will link somehow this way, giving rise to an ozonoid. So this is what I have done. This is 2H, so these 2H, ozone is being linked. It actually gets break into this thing. Now here you know that if there are 2 atoms which are attached to a carbon is H, then particularly you are going to get an aldehyde when you treat it with zinc and water. But if one of them is R, let's say this case RCH this, so let's say that here one of them is R, it also get break in this way, but it is RCHO and it will be RCOR. So that means if you have the group which is attached to a carbon is H, then it turns into a CHO, right? But if it is R, then again RCHO, but if both are R, then it turns into a ketone. You have to keep in mind that. And how it breaks, actually this ozonoid is an intermediate, it is unstable compound, it breaks in presence of zinc in the water. It gets to give an aldehyde, or it gives aldehyde plus ketone. Next is hydration of alkyne. That means we are going to add water to an alkyne. So you have an alkyne, let's say acetylene. You are going to add water in presence of sulfuric acid. So what happened? This bond gets break, it becomes CH2, because we know that water is this kind. This gets attached here and this gets attached here. So it has CH2 double bond CHOH, then it gets rearranged, this H migrate to this place and it becomes CH3CHO. but this is particularly for acetylene. But if you take any other this thing alkyne other than acetylene, it is obviously going to form a ketone. See, this is my another alkyne, let's say it is propyne. We add water, again this is H and OH. This addition reaction is going to occur across the carbon which carries a double bond. So it will form, somehow H will attack here and OH will here. It will form CH3, CH double bond CHOH, rearrange to form ketone. Rearrange to form ketone. This O will migrate this place and H at this place. So it will be ketone. Likewise, the another method is heating of calcium salt acid. Means you have a calcium salt of acid and you are going to heat it. Let's say it is RCO whole twice Ca. This I have written in an open form. I am going to heat it. So when I am going to heat it, what is going to happen? The CaCO3 will be liberated, and what you are left with? RCO. So it will be RCOR. That means you will get a ketone. Likewise, we can prepare an aldehyde, but the thing is that here you should have at least one H. So suppose I have this thing, again a calcium salt of carboxylic acid. So when I am going to heat it, this calcium carbonate will be liberated, and now you are left with RCHO. So it will form an aldehyde. So these are the few methods by which you can actually use to prepare aldehyde and ketones. I think it's clear that we can do it. Oxidation of alcohol, 1 degree yield aldehyde, 2 degree yield ketones, right. You need to stop the reaction at the aldehyde stage. Dehydrogenation of alcohols, you pass it through copper vapors at 573 Kelvin. When you take 1 degree, it turns into an aldehyde, 2 degree again, like 2 degree alcohol always give rise to a ketone. Third is ozonolysis. It is particularly the addition of ozone molecule in the unsaturated system, that is with the double bond alkene. It gives rise to an ozonoid. If both are H, it is going to form an aldehyde, and if one of them is R, then again it is going to form an aldehyde. But if both the H is replaced by R, then it is going to produce a ketone. Then you can easily see when you make an ozonoid. Next is hydration of alkynes. You add water to an alkyne, again an addition reaction. So what is there? This addition of H and OH occur across the double bond. So it becomes CH2 double bond CHO, somehow rearrangement occur and it forms a aldehyde. But other than acetylene, if you take any other method, any other member other than acetylene, it is going to give rise to a ketone. You have to keep this in mind. Next is heating of calcium salt of an acid. When you take a calcium salt in which there is an R and R group, so obviously you are going to get ketone. If one of them is calcium formate, then you are going to get an aldehyde. So this is what is the preparation of aldehyde and ketone, but we have few more preparations, so just look at the board carefully.